Hi, Shelly here. I came across this heart the other day that I had put some texture paste on a few years back and thought maybe I could do something like that in this week's art journal page. I have an idea for a background using some old denim. I've got lots of old denim from my boys and my husband. I don't know why I can't seem to just throw it away, but I cannot. So I pull out a leg that I had not used for something before and go through my gel prints trying to find a good coordinating print, which I do, and then I go to cut some shapes. I don't have a big plan here, but I think I want to do some different size rectangles on my page. You know, my pages are 10.5 by 15.5. They're big from this old map journal that I made. So I've got quite a bit of room to play around on. I like this gel print, but I'm just not feeling it for this project. So I'm gonna go and try this next one with the lighter blue-green, and I like that much better. I used some watered down Mod Podge to put my papers down. Not sure what happened to my camera there, but it cut all that out. And then I'm just going to go in with some heavy matte gel and put my denim down with a palette knife. I don't remember doing this before, but I think that the heavy matte gel will be better for the denim than if I were using something else. But I don't know, maybe Mod Podge would work just great for this. This denim is really thick, and I'm really pushing down to make sure that it stays where I'm putting it. But it seems like it's working good. I used that original heart as a template, and now I'll just cut these out of this thin chipboard that I had on hand. I've got a small piece of inexpensive muslin here, and I'm just going to put some Mod Podge, a good bit of Mod Podge out, and then press my shapes into the muslin, and then let it dry on this piece of freezer paper, and then we'll cut them out. I want to use my mini mandala stencil, but it's a little bit too mini for what I'm doing. So I took 5 possible designs and enlarged them a little bit so that they would fit better on my hearts. And then I'm just adding a little texture paste onto each one. I always do this kind of sloppily when I want the modeling or the texture paste to be thick, because I can clean it up after it dries. Now it'll take longer to dry when it's thicker, but I'm okay with that because I've got other things to do. My paste is not completely dry, but it's good enough to where I can go in and clean up some of these edges. I'm not going to try to sand it yet, but I'll just go in with my little flat nippers there and get all the high points off. Now it's completely dry and I can go in and really clean up those edges and smooth it down just a little bit on the top. I decide I want to make these look kind of like flowers. And I decide to make each one of them a different color. And so I am using a mix of paints on each one. Once my heart's dry, I go in with a little bit of navy and just kind of rub it on top to highlight the texture. I'm not sure what happened to that footage. Having trouble today, but since I've decided on flowers, I pull out another gel print and cut some stems and leaves. These leaves are a bit too small, so I'll just go through and cut some more, a little bit larger out, and I like that much better. Again, having trouble today. I'm just missing a bunch of clips. Very frustrating. But I was going through a drawer and I found this star punch. So I punched out a few of the two different sizes, and then I'm going to go through with this green. Oh, there it is. There's a picture of it. I think it was a Creative Memories scrapbooking punch back in the day. Still works great. And I'm going to go around the edges of all of my papers with this green. It's kind of a metallic green, but I think it looks good with these papers and finishes them off nicely. Go and put some stems on my stars for little star flowers in my heart garden. And then it's time to come in with my Mod Podge and apply everything. I spend some extra time anywhere I've got a star that's on the denim because I really need it to stick. And so yeah, I really had to work with that, but it did work. I better go back and pull my paints out and put something around the edge of my heart. So I'm just using my finger on most of it and making it, it's very sloppily done, but I like the look of sloppily in this case. And then I'll get a brush and go down in those little crevices at the top of the heart. My beacon glue and a little Aleene's. I don't know why I always like to use a little bit, two different kind of glues, because I just makes me feel better. But I probably only need the beacon glue or the Aleene's. Well, that's my project. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I love the denim. I love the texture of everything. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. Hey, thanks for joining me this week. And I hope you'll join me in my next video. Bye for now.